Hi everyone, I've been asked many times, when do you sell your gold here and silver coins? Um, it's a good question, and I've been asked, when do you sell your bitcoins, and the answer for me is a little different for each one. I think you sell your gold basically when, for example, 3-bedroom house or assets that you normally buy a lot of, like for example a cow, generally goes for 1 ounce of gold. But if a cow goes for um, multiple ounce, 1 ounce of gold can buy you multiple cows, then you know that, hey, wait a second, gold's getting overpriced. Same when I was talking about a 3-bedroom house. Depends on the area, of course. Um, but I'm assuming, let's just say, if we go by the average price of a house in the United States, if you can buy a house, an average valued house for basically 25 ounces of gold, that's also a good indicator. I'd probably go a lot lower than that. But to tell you what price in dollars is just not possible, because what was the price of gold in Zimbabwe? I mean, probably the dollar might not go to Zimbabwe levels, but you don't know what the valuations of things are going to be when you pay for them in dollars during the crisis, because we all know the crisis is coming, and there's effectively no point in waiting before the crisis, selling before the crisis, because it's clear to everyone right now that both gold and silver are fully manipulated by the central banks, the governments, and the banks themselves. So if anyone believes otherwise, then they're completely wrong, and because there's too much evidence clearly stating that all this is going on. Now, the interesting thing about bitcoins is because bitcoins is a possible future money and not effectively a good use, store of value, long-term store of value right now, is mostly a speculative asset. So if you're planning on investing in bitcoins and you've invested 2% of your net worth, you could either wait until it actually reaches a really high valuation, extremely high valuation, like a few $1,000,000 adjusted for today's inflation, or even $100,000, because bitcoins is going to be either zero or extreme amount of money. There's no in between for bitcoins. Now, so if you're willing to accept zero or the pot of gold, then you keep your bitcoins. But if you're not, what I would suggest you do is you basically sell half your bitcoins every time Bitcoin doubles. So if you want to buy $10,000 worth of bitcoins today, that's fine. Bitcoins is at a decent low from its all-time highs. And every time it doubles from there, right, we sell half, right, and do whatever we want with that money. Because if you keep doing that, every time it doubles, you'll never run out of bitcoins. And that way, you'll, even when it goes to some pie and high sky valuation, you've received some income from bitcoins. And although you don't have as many as you first started off with, you're still going to have a huge amount of money left over. Now, and you'll still have bitcoins to say, hey, you know what, I invested in bitcoins. Whilst, a person who might have invested 2%, and they still have those bitcoins when it's in the 100,000 to 1,000,000 range, they're doing a little bit better. But they're risking it to going to zero. So I don't see it going to zero, right? Personally, but that is my personal opinion, and everybody has to do their own research and decide for themselves.
So I'm invested heavily in Bitcoins. Anyways, so those are my reasons for when you should sell your gold and silver, and I hope you enjoyed this video.